Out here on Guntersville today, I want to take you guys through a little ledge fishing 101. What to look for when you come out to the lake and how to find these bass, how to graph for them, how they set up, the key places they are most likely to position and set up. Talking about current today and just everything you need to know to help dial you in here on the Tennessee River or any lake in the country that has fish that relate to ledges. So let's go find a few. All right, rolling up to the first area I'm gonna graph today. When you come to a new body of water, you want to find those high percentage areas when you're just starting to look for these bass. So places where creeks meet the main river are high percentage areas. Check the ledge, the drop before and after the creek where they meet the main river. And if you have current like we do here on the Tennessee River, if they're pulling a lot of current, that is also key to the fish setting up right. So if they're pulling over 20,000 cubic feet a second, it gets pretty good here on Guntersville. Today they're pulling 60,000. So when it gets over 60, when it gets around 80,000, it's almost too much current. Now this is exactly what we're looking for right here. We just idled the forward facing point of a creek that met the main river, and these bass were set up right along that point where the current hits it and where the creek met the main river. So if you look here on down imaging, you can see these bass. Here, I'll pull it up big for you. You can see it there. 1, 2, 3. There's a stump with 2 on it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 or 24 bass right there. And that doesn't include the ones that weren't right under the boat. You have more on side imaging that weren't right under the boat. So that's probably a 40 fish school. That's a really good school. That's something we want to look for and target. So to set up on that school, I would turn around, and what I would do is sit facing into the current, cast upwards into the current and bring it with the current. That's how I would present my bait to these fish. So we just found a nice school. They look like some good ones. Got this cornfield fishing gear folding mount here. Allows me to look at them a little easier. So here you have the point and the drop going down in the channel. It kind of disappears. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bass just on that little drop. And when I pan around, a totally different spot on the drop, you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bass, and there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're all set up right on this drop that meets the river. And so we're just going to spot lock right here, cast to them. So my first baits of choice into the ledge are like a worm, a jig, a drop shot, a demiki, and then I see what they want. If I don't get bit on those, I switch to the next one, and then to the next one. I only make a couple casts with each bait, and then I start using baits that have more draw power. The problem about starting with baits that have more draw power is you move the school of bass. You'll get 5 or 10 to follow it, and then they'll kind of disperse, and it'll take them a little while to set back up on the ledge, versus a dragging bait or a bait that's slower doesn't move the whole school. So we're going to start with this big worm, and then we might switch to those other baits, and then a deep crank or a spoon or something to finish on the ledge. That's how I approach the ledges. We have tried a few different baits here, and we're not getting anything to commit, so I'm gonna try the old 6XD. This one's more of a natural color. The water's a little dirty after this rain, so I should probably throw on like a bright white one or a blue chartreuse, but since I already have this one on, let's try it. I like burning my crankbait, so I reel it pretty fast, and then I'll give it a pause every now and then. 10, 12 cranks, and then I'll just pause it briefly. Just something to, when they're following it, oh, we got one. How about that, folks? That pause, he ate it right on that pause. It's a baby too. Wow. Oh, you can get a hook in the finger real easy with these crankbaits and these feisty spotted bass. There you go. Nice little spot. Beautiful. And eelgrass, check that out. All right, see you, buddy. So I was throwing the worm, didn't get any bites, and we're just running around looking at some stuff today. So I went ahead and grabbed the crankbait. First cast, they're fired up. Like I said, they're pulling a lot of current, And that also turns these fish on to your moving baits a little more. See if we can get another one. We didn't catch any more on the crank, so I'm slowing down to see if we can catch another one out of the school with a little worm. Just dragging it. Oh, I just got smoked. Oh, missed him. Let's let it sink back down. There's one. Oh, gosh. Missed him again. All right, so they're hitting, folks. They're hitting. What I'm doing is a little technique that I don't know if I coined it or if it's an actual technique, but I call it mag shotting. I have a drop shot on a bait caster, 17-pound test, and I throw a big old worm on there. So we're gonna rig up another worm here, do a little mag shotting. So I'm throwing this green pumpkin candy right here, and if I'm not throwing it, usually I'm throwing like a June bug or a plum, but with it being a little earlier in the year, I go a little natural, and then when later summer rolls around, I really like to switch it up in that hot water to the plum or June bug. But that's how I rig it right there. I leave the hook exposed unless I'm in brush, and got a little 1/2 ounce bullet weight drop shot weight. Let's get another one. Ready? Yep. There he is. Not a giant. Another nice one. Another spotty. Look at that. Another spotty. We missed one. It's probably what was playing with it that cast before that. Tiny bit bigger spot than the last one. See, bud. Another one. Yep. That's a little better one there. It's coming up. Jumper. Come on, bud. Woo! Yes. All right. Nice one. Yeah. That's a good one there, folks. Oh, the old mag shot. Look at that. Boom. That right there is close to a 4-pounder. That's what lives out here. Good day to be alive. I'm gonna release him. There you go, buddy. That's so fun. Get out here and catch some ledge fish on a lake near you. If you're around the Tennessee River, summer, you got 4 or 5 months. Perfect time to do it. Get out here, find some fish, drop on them, set that hook.